Coincidentally, as the latest patch dropped yesterday in Helldivers 2, I was in the midst of experimenting with some solo loadouts. Tired of getting slapped about by about 10 chargers at a time, I jumped at the chance to check out the new update. For those of you that missed out, the new update altered the Terminid spawn rates, reducing heavily armoured target spawn frequencies on tier 7s and above, thus reducing the risks of spawn spikes of chargers and bile titans. In addition, the devs have acknowledged the charger leg meta taking centre stage. They have lowered the health of chargers' heads, highlighting that the recoilless and the expendable anti-tank can now insta-kill chargers with a well-placed shot. Curious, I decided to investigate how the aforementioned weapons and other options now fare against our bull-headed friends. I hastily jumped in to aid spreading democracy on everyone's favourite meteor strike-prone dusty moon-looking planet, Fenrir 3.
Pod launch initiated.
My objective?
Orbit synchronized.
Ignore all objectives and shoot chargers in the head with a variety of different weapons, of course. First up, the recoilless, a weapon I don't often utilise, so this was set to be a fresh experience. Once equipped, it didn't take long for me to find my first victim. Was this going to be as straightforward as the devs said? Well, as it turned out, yes it is. In fact, there were multiple instances where the stars aligned, and I was able to get some well-placed shots off on a range of bull-headed critters. Well, this seems easy enough, I thought to myself. Wrong. It turns out that these shots need to be very well placed to ensure a charger is put down in one go, and rightly so. I found myself in multiple instances where my shots were slightly off, and from that moment, chaos ensued. It can actually be quite unforgiving. A slight miscalculation, and you can quickly find yourself stuck in Reloadsville, or worse, completely overrun, with an absolute tidal wave of bugs hurtling towards you, forcing you to find a rock to hide behind for safety. Next up, the expendable anti-tank. I love this thing, so I quickly rushed to drop one in the moment one of our friends was located. The result? The same as the recoilless. A well-placed shot to the face effectively deletes our carapace adversaries, and I actually found this to be more reliable than the recoilless as it feels a little tighter and reliable in the recoil and sway department. Having tested the patch notes, I decided to check out some other fan-favourite weapons and see how they now fared against chargers if I was to focus my efforts on solely headshotting. With the recent railgun alterations, it seemed like a great next choice. As I played cat and mouse with many a charger, it quickly became apparent to me that the railgun is a nice, high-rewarding weapon for those who have gained a sixth sense for when the railgun is at its optimal full charge. Unlike me. In my experience, I was killing chargers in around 5 shots on average, but this was likely because I wasn't landing direct headshots and I wasn't optimizing the charge. I killed a handful with 3 shots, and as you can see in this clip, apologies for how dark it is, this one kindly stood still for me to demonstrate this. I think that those who are well versed with the railgun may have a good time using this against chargers. Again, perhaps not back to the dizzying heights we were at pre-nerf, but it certainly felt viable, folks. Whilst dodging a particularly acrobatic charger that had taken a leaf out of a mountain goat's book, I also thought to myself that things would perhaps be even better if I wasn't just focusing on headshots, placing damage into the weak spot on its back every time I dodged. Do you have any intel on this, folks? Sound off in the comments below. The Ark Thrower and the Flamethrower have seen a huge surge in popularity since the railgun nerfs, and rightly so. With the abundance of Flamethrower knowledge out there, I decided to skip this and focus on the Ark Thrower. Equipped with my handheld Tesla coil, it quickly became apparent to me that whilst this weapon may not be the most devastating against chargers, the fact that you can fire this weapon so quickly and deal with trash mobs and chargers makes it very powerful if you're that way inclined. As I dealt with chargers, I found myself being able to quickly switch to regular mobs to fend them off and deal with them before switching my focus back onto the charger. This felt very rewarding and enjoyable to play. In terms of the charger headshots with the Ark Thrower, the quickest I've killed one is 6 shots, and I find that on average, if the shots are landing, they tend to kill in 6 to 7 shots. Again, this is focusing solely on headshots. Another huge advantage of this weapon is when you shoot chargers that are within a group of trash mobs, the lightning can arc between them, which is another added bonus in my opinion. Battered and bruised for my expedition on Fenrir 3. Reflecting on the outcomes of these tests, I think I prefer using the Ark Thrower or the expendable anti-tank when focusing on dealing with chargers. They just feel smoother and less cumbersome to play around. What are your thoughts here, folks? On the topic of the changes overall, having played some T9s with full squad setups last night, I do think that the changes they've made to the charger and the spawn frequencies in general have actually made higher difficulties feel a lot easier. 4 of us all had the same opinion, and I think the devs have actually gone a bit too far in the other direction with these changes. But that being said, that is a topic for another video, so make sure you don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep informed on this matter. Take care of yourselves, keep having fun, and I'll see you in the next one.